literature, art, is a way to help us get through things, and it's important. So, come on up and read.
This is called A Note to the Muse.
Rejecting vanillin, artificial flavors, till the storekeeper questioned my motives and racked through her stock, as if organic chocolate would right the world again. At my grandmother's funeral, my cousins and I ate 3 pounds of M&Ms, the candy both tradition and tribute. My mother told us Nanny subsisted on M&Ms and the crust of her children's sandwiches. I remember a sophomore year, you laughing as I tried to share. You hoped abstaining from Red 40 would ward off the cancer you couldn't save him from. I sent you chocolate. I bought too much and not enough because I don't know how to comfort.
All right, this is a poem called Timid. She knew the answer. The words formed in her head, to the back of her throat, to the tip of her tongue. Like a feather caught on a breeze, a dinghy floating on calm swells, a leaf fallen softly to the ground. The phrase could escape the confines of her person. But laughter rings in her ears, which turn as red as the hat she never dared to wear. The teacher asked the question again, once, twice, 3 times, as one might at an auction. But she did not lift her paddle, she did not put down a bid. So she stammered, mumbled, tripping over the words like she did over her feet, which always seemed too big. The teacher sighed, disappointed at the response, unexpectedly wrong. The girl looked down, and the moment was lost.
This is called Crunching Leaves. She was walking home from the school with the leaves crunching underneath her feet, distracting her from those self-deprecating thoughts that had been her constant companion for 3 years. Crunch, 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 the leaves cried as she stomped on them with her sensible teacher shoes, with their brown laces and comfortable tan soles. The sunlight was harsh and bright, but she could feel winter in the nippy breeze. She pulled her light tattered coat further up on her shoulders in order to better cover her pink and blue tinged ears. Her hands, stuffed in the small pockets of the coat, shook slightly, and she inwardly cursed New England and its harsh seasons. She wished that her car was not broken, or that she had enough money to take a taxi, or that she had friends who could drive her to work on this blustery day. The crunch of the leaves was louder now. There was someone following her, and her breath quickened, and her heart started pounding, and she couldn't hear the crunch of the leaves anymore, just the sound of her heart and her constant thoughts saying, run, run, run. And she started walking faster and faster. Now she was running, and the person was calling after her, but she could only hear the pounding of her heart and the thud of her shoes on the pavement, and underneath it all, the crunch of the leaves. When she turned the corner away from the school, she stopped, her breath coming in short, hard bursts. She clutched her side, breathing in and out so the sharp pain would recede. She felt ashamed of herself, ashamed of running, ashamed of being scared, ashamed that somebody she probably knew had seen her at her most primal. There was nothing she could do now. To go back would be even more embarrassing. When she was at home, she flicked on each of the lights, meticulously checking each room before going to the kitchen and putting in a frozen dinner in her microwave. She sat down on the large green sofa that was placed in the middle of the living room like a trophy on display. The remote was by the blue lamp with the white lampshade, perched on the mahogany table with the grimy glass top that her father had left to her. She gripped her back with one hand as she bent over to pick up the remote with the other. Her bones hurt far too much for a 33-year-old, but years of loneliness and regret had aged her. She slowly sat down, sinking into the plush dark green cushion of the couch, and watched Wheel of Fortune until the microwave ringer went off, announcing to the world that the dinner for one was now ready to eat.